beginning.
Stunning
Yeah,
beginning from us, Alex.
yes. Hello to everyone. We happy to see you. Today we have Artyom. Great guy, Artyom. How are you doing?
How I'm doing? I'm doing well. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing
Houston, we have a
perfect.
trouble.
Yeah. Yes. I will be happy, of course, to know how good our connection at first. Yes.
So I feel very nice connection. What about it? Right, type something about it. What's connection between us?
Yes. I want to look at first connection and we will continue. Yes. Hello, Alex. Hello to our moderators and hello to everyone. We're happy to see you, all of you. Yes. And five. You see comments?
Five of
Yes.
five. Five of
Yes, I can
five.
hear you. It is wonderful.
Yes.
And it's really great connection because, yeah, it's cool. Yes. And
It's cool. It's cool.
yeah. Today we have topic Russian detail. And I think what, of course, it is very interesting to talk about everything what is happening, and
Mm-hmm.
not only like how different, but also it's also for me interesting to understand how different Russia is, and how can this difference change Russia in future if we are talking about dividing Russia.
Or
Maybe
not.
maybe not, who knows, it will be very interesting. And uh, if you, yes, what do you think about this? Maybe you say who are you, maybe I introduced only myself, sorry for this. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
okay, let me make it
Yeah.
something introduction about myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm I'm Artyom Muhammad Galif as my full name,
Yeah.
and I was born in Russia and I was living in Russia full my life. I'm very first
Yeah.
time living abroad right now in Georgia. I am a typical Russian refugee located now in Batumi. Maybe
Hmm.
you watched our live stream with Dima from Russia, dear
Yes.
Dima, for a week ago. So he's in Batumi too, and so here is a nice international community right now in Batumi, where are a lot of Belarusians, Ukrainians,
Hmm.
and so it's unhappy what's several actions in our countries made us to hide mobilization, to hide the war, to hide maybe some in our difficulties in our countries like Belarus, to hide here in Batumi, but so I think it's too nice experience to meet here with other people and to find out about about both of us, about our nations and cultures again, and more about me. Okay, more
Yeah.
about me. Yes, uh, I was living in Siberia for 18
Yeah.
years, and I was living before uh, before I moved in Georgia, I was living in Kazan. It's the capital of Tatarstan Republic of it's capital of Tatarstan. I was living there for 5 years.
Yeah, it's so wonderful because I was traveling in Russia and I was trying to understand how diverse Russia is. You can find these different republics or how to say regions where
Hmm.
they have own languages, and for me it was like cultural shock because if we will talk about diversity, Russia is diverse and. Was you having troubles sometimes with languages inside of Russia? Because uh, in Kazan, because they have Tatar language, if I'm correct.
Yes. For example, no. So I didn't have any troubles. So before I start to talk about any troubles and language issues inside Russia, I want to say hello to Happy Cappy. Hello to
Yeah,
Roy
hello.
Daniel. Nice to see you, everyone.
Yes. I'm very happy to see everyone, and of course, Christina, hi Alex, and your guest Artyom. Good to see smiling, happy, laughing faces. It is wonderful.
that's
Yes.
that's nice. We
Uh,
we like. we like to present happy and joy to everyone in our live stream and to
Yeah.
every people in our world.
And here
Thank you,
I
coming here.
saw this message from Sam Calvert. He said, "Is Dima is in here?" Somebody said, "What you're hiding?" And he's hiding behind this coach. I'm like, okay,
he's hiding between us, maybe somewhere around the Atlantic Ocean.
yeah, maybe somewhere like who knows, maybe,
Who
but
knows? Maybe
uh,
maybe he's on the way to invest to Roy.
yeah, it is definitely. And to be honest, we were talking before what why not you there will be maybe possibility, who knows, if we will make something together. But I don't know how it's possible at this moment. But who knows? Maybe we'll make
We'll find out
yeah,
further.
we will find out about this. Who knows?
Yes,
Who knows?
about
At this,
visibility.
yes, all these possibilities. And um, yes, thank you for gifted memberships to Land Plenty. Thank you. And what do you think about diversity in Russia? Was you traveling around Russia, or maybe I know you know very well geography, and and it's definitely you know something like about
I
how
know
diverse Russia is.
Russia is so big, what I still now only a percent about Russia because of Russia very big. So as we was talking about language diversities between
Yeah.
Russian regions, let we continue this topic. So as I was living in Kazan, there are a lot of people in Kazan who. So if you're talking only you able to talk only Russian, you can feel yourself absolutely freely in Kazan because every people in Kazan now Russian very good. Maybe I met only a few quantity of Tatars
Hmm.
who speak Russian very bad. It's very deepest villages of Tatarstan
Hmm.
countryside, and it's maybe like an exclusion of the rule what Tatars didn't know Russian language. Even in the deepest villages of Tatarstan,
Yeah.
uh, the majority of locals know
Hmm.
Russians because they should go in Kazar by any something deal for something deals, and they also should to negotiate, maybe to contact with Russians and our people of Kazan. And by the way, about the population of Kazan, fifty
Hmm.
percent of Kazan population that's Russians, and 48% of them Tatars, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Maybe something like this.
Yeah.
About about another republics of Russia. I know more about Volga republics. I have visited for previous year 5 out of 6 republics. As I said in one of my last video about the differences of Russia and how Russia is diverse.
Hmm.
Um, for example, in Mari El, in Chuvash Republic, if Tatars know their language properly,
Hmm.
but in Mariel and Chuvash Republic, there is something like a narrative about what locals prefer to learn Russian, first of all, not to
Hmm.
learn local Mari language or Chuvash language, not frequently, but maybe 50 persons we prefer to learn Russian first of all because I think where I heard some stories about
Yeah.
Chuvash more exactly what way a little bit shy of being Chuvash because of I think it's an последствие, it's an
Results, so consequences, results of Russian.
yes, it's a consequence. It's a consequence of Russian suppressive policy during
Mhm.
this four, four we have hundreds of years, and more exactly about suppressive policy in USSR when
And people, if I'm understanding correctly, people afraid, sometimes not afraid, but shy to say what I'm
Hmm.
Yakut, I'm Chuvash,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
Buryat,
yes,
because Russian government having this policy, oppression policy on their culture.
yes. Not Russian,
Yes, Soviet.
Soviet policy.
Ah,
It's more exact because maybe in Russian Empire time there was not so strong
mm-hmm,
suppressing of local minorities. That had a place maybe sometimes, but it's more noticeable in USSR when
mm-hmm.
Soviet powers frequently um, made some minorities to immigrate to another USSR regions, for example. That was a very frequent action for Caucasus minorities when Chechens, Kabardins, Balkars was mm, I forgot how to say сослать, ссылка,
They
was
will
exiled
exiled. Wow.
into Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
That was exactly with Chechens, Kabardins, Balkars. There are some of of those minorities living in Kazakhstan still, but they now want to return back in their native land.
Yeah, because I was feeling what right now because I was reading articles and news, and for me it was interesting, of course, what is happening right now. Does these people have this oppression? Example, because of mobilization. If in Russia we have law, uh,
Hmm.
all Russians, it doesn't matter who you are by nationality. If you have
Hmm.
Russian passport, it doesn't matter who you are, Russian, Buryat, or Yakut. You must go
Absolutely.
to this war. And do you think what these people have like ability to protest towards against this war, more possibility to protest, or maybe they have even less rights than ordinary Russians in Russia.
You
I mean,
you you mean what? Maybe they have more any support
more,
by
yes, yes, because
built on
they're
their
like,
nationality.
yes, because they have like own republics. It's like
Hmm.
country inside of country. Theoretically, they
And
must
they
have
have
more
more freedom,
rights,
like
more freedom. But do you think is it true, or maybe it's all like
it's
impossible for
not,
them to have this?
it's absolutely impossible because it's it doesn't matter who are you in Russia right now. Are
Yeah,
you republic? Are you oblast? Are
region.
you autonomous okrug? Are
Yeah,
you Jewish autonomous oblast? It
yeah,
doesn't matter at all because every region of Russia right now, like a Polish voivodstvo, for example, doesn't matter. They are all equals to each other.
yeah,
No any additional freedoms or rights. But no, in law, it's right. What republics have more freedom, they can elect their own president or their own head of republic. But in
hmm,
fact, all our regions are equals to each other. They're all where all must go to Moscow
yeah.
for how to say поклон.
To yes, to show who is boss
We
here,
must
like
yes we must to go
yeah.
to Moscow to Kremlin for give me
For
money,
yes,
give me money, give
give
me
me.
money,
But
please, give me
at
money
first,
for my life.
yeah, at first, Moscow taking all money from regions, and then
Yes,
she's making this situation where you must ask money from like from
yes,
Moscow.
yes,
Give me,
yes.
please. We want to have this roads or maybe this park, but
We
this
want to
result,
build
yeah,
additional hospital in
yeah.
our something district center. Give me money, please.
Hmm. Yes, completely agree with you. And yes, it's this diversity was killed by Soviet uh, period of
Not
time.
by
It's, I mean, this language, they were not
language.
like languages,
Hmm.
diversity in languages. Soviet Russia was spreading more Russian language, if I'm correct. What
Mm,
about now? Do you know maybe is it difficult to does these minorities have opportunity to study own language in their regions?
Those again about minorities, they
Mhm.
uh, better lived in USSR, Moscow, and far
Yeah.
north regions. If you want to live better,
Mhm.
if you was born in somewhere in Krasnoslobodsk of Mordovia, and
Mhm.
you're really you're a true Erzya or Moksha, you want to make your life better in USSR, you should learn Russian because of
Yeah.
better life when in Mordovia is in Moscow or in far north of Russia, where you also should know Russian for connect with other people of
Mhm.
another USSR minorities.
Yeah.
Russian language is also was opportunity for to connect every Soviet minority. For example, every Yakut can connect with Kabardins or Georgians by Russian. There was also a good ability for people to connect for each other.
Mhm.
But USSR didn't поощрять, um,
Um,
didn't strengthen development of local district, of local republic centers, of local country centers.
yeah.
Uh,
It's like it didn't giving them
didn't
encourage,
encourage,
encourage. Yes.
didn't encourage it.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And right now, I don't feel even Russian culture doesn't have these opportunities. Like in Russia, if you will say there, you have a law about discrimination of other nationalities. If you will say what I'm Russian, you
Mm-hmm.
will be like it will be like discrimination of others. If you will say example, I'm Buryat, it will be also like discrimination, like you're thinking what you're better than others, like there's you can find this law about discrimination um, of
I
nationalities, if I'm
I
correct.
I didn't find out more about this law because every law in Russia right now were not working correctly,
Yeah.
and you, ev- our Russian legislation so insane and made
Yeah.
new laws didn't work properly, and you just didn't know, you don't know how should it work. Where also some laws in Russia opposed to another laws. How is it working now?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely
I,
insane.
yes, I want to read comments. And Sam Calvert, thank you for your donation. We appreciate it very much. And there he has question. Artyom and Alex, have you been to visit Yakutia to visit the snow ice people? It is snowing here in high in the USA. Have you ever was in Yakutia?
I have never been in Yakutia, unfortunately, but I would like to visit it. I have visited only
Oh,
three, three out of five Siberian republics. I have
yeah.
visited last year. I have visited Buryatia
Yeah.
on the most northern point of the Baikal. That's
Hmm.
true backwards of Russia, where live really pro Z people
Yeah.
and but I point you at this moment I have some friends from even from such cities who
Hmm.
oppose to Russian government, who are against of this war. And that's very true moment about these people. How do we feel to live in such cities? You're against
Yeah.
the government and you're oppose it, you're against the war, you're for Ukrainians, you want a better life for Russia. How is it difficult to live for these people? If you wanna, I even think maybe to make a special interview with such person because I have some friends from these cities.
Yeah.
Would you like maybe even such an interview with those people how they live there right at this moment? And I think it's more interesting will be when it will be the next step of mobilization. If you would like, type me or in my comments or maybe on my channel if you would like
Yeah.
it.
Yes, like, of course, but at this moment, visiting Russia, it doesn't matter where you are, want to go, Yakutia, Buryatia, it doesn't matter, Primorsky Krai, where I'm from.
Hmm.
It's impossible. Like, fear of mobilization is much, much.
Is
It is, it will always with you. And
it's
yeah.
freaking fear.
Alex, look at your Amazon wish list. Has been doing his magic. Lands are plenty. Thank you. Because I want to say yesterday happened magic stuff. I had
What is it?
in the wish list on Amazon. I had iPad. It cost more than $1,000, and I just it disappears um, because Landa Plenty bought for me. Thank you, of course, for this. And
Wow.
it is like there
That's
was. Can you imagine? Like, I arrived to the USA and suddenly, yes, I'm creating this wish list. People buying for me different stuff, and then like uh, people buying for you clothes, perfume, like MacBooks, different things. I mean, like
how.
iPad, and like what is happening? And that's why I'm thinking. Oh, I'm sure, of course, Americans very generous. Not only Americans. If you're like, yeah, they're very generous people, and I'm shocked. Thank you for this. Thank you for this.
How
Yeah.
rich you are to have such a nice subscribers on your channel.
You're completely right, and
Your
it is.
subscribers is
I'm.
your richness.
Yeah, they're wonderful people. We have wonderful community, wonderful community. Thank you, of course, for this support. And yes, I believe what you also have buy me a coffee, or maybe what do you
Yes,
have? Yeah.
I have Buy Me Coffee, I have PayPal, I have Patreon, but the most convenient way for me, Buy Me Coffee, because I have so a few quantity of subscribers on my channel, and a few quantity where spread
Hmm.
their donations via every this way to support me, and I have
Hmm.
very few a very few amount of money on every way, and that's something inconvenient for me to collect it from all these ways
Yeah,
sometimes.
it is
But
wonderful. Of course, I'm sure what my supporters, my subscribers will be
mhm,
able to somehow to, I hope somebody will help you. And yes, I see what people saying, what they want you to increase a little bit volume, someone said. And it's if it's possible. Yeah. But anyway, thank you for our chat. Let's read comments maybe. Yes. Um, yes. Um, Alex
in
just, yeah, yeah, yes.
something questions you read.
Yes. Alex just thinks he's America, but he landed in Oz. Yeah. Oz, it is country of Oz. Yeah, it's like,
Country
yeah,
of Oz.
yeah. It's from like, yeah. Okay, I get it. And thank you, Alex. Your amazing wish list is empty. Again, thanks a lot to Land of Plenty. Thank you, of course. That was perfume. Wonderful perfume. I like perfume. And yes, I was traveling around Russia, Artyom.
Mhm,
I want to say to you, I sold my because like little apartment. It was like because I'm
mhm.
for orphan. I had this 80 square meters apartment in the middle of nowhere, and I decided to travel on this money around Russia. I visited from Moscow to Sochi, Moscow, Ekaterinburg, and I visited even Belarus. And what I saw, it's more like stable depression you can find everywhere. Because I mean, why I say this? Because I wasn't living like in luxury hotels. You can imagine
Mhm,
what I had. I was trying to save
mhm.
money. I was living in hostels. I
Mm-hmm.
was talking with ordinary people, and I heard different stories. People were sharing with me how they're living, and usually they're from villages and small towns.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it doesn't matter who you are usually, and what is your nationality in Russia. Usually people trying to save money, and they're living in these hostels because they're cheaper, you can imagine.
Yeah.
Like
Yes. Mm-hmm.
usually people from villages, they're going to these hostels, living there a couple of days, and going example to the hospital in this city because they need to make surgery, their
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
children are ill, etc. And they were saying these salaries which they have, like they're receiving like $200 per month, $100 per month. And for me it's interesting your experience. How many people around you do you can you say their like average salaries, like incomes, which what do they have? Yeah.
Average income for regular Russians.
Yeah.
So it's harshly depend on regions itself,
Mm-hmm.
because uh, I have made a special video about how Russia differs in
Yeah.
social economical terms, which this model developed by Natalia Zubarevich, which I made in my
Mm-hmm.
video. If you watched
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
did you watch it?
I watched several of your videos. Of course, I before before. Yeah.
Yes, and this model properly describes how Russia differs as in social economical terms, because not every region similar with something another. Uh, some regions make their economy on agriculture. Some regions make economic on the mining of fossil fuels. Maybe something doing on tourism and etc. So as I know, for example, uh, I have visited one of the last regions in Russia, Kirov region, Kirov Oblast, or
Mm-hmm.
Vyatka. Um, People there earn money in province. Mm, the average income 20 hundreds of rubles. It's $300 maybe. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
you're working in canteen as a seller or as a chief, you earn this salary
Yeah.
in deepest region. If you're working in Kirov, the capital of this region, you maybe earn a halfly more, 30,000 of
Yeah.
rubles.
Yeah.
That's maybe four, 500s of dollars, like,
Yeah.
maybe like this, because it's very difficult to exchange currency from rubles to dollars because of uh
The
Russian
Russian
ruble.
ruble is like cost nothing. It's changing pretty fast. It is a terrible time for Russian economy, and it's like difficult to. Today it was 68. Tomorrow it's like 60.
it's
Yesterday, yes, yeah,
it's a fake course. How is
yeah.
the name properly in economic terms?
Currency
Convertation.
convertation. Yeah,
Yes, it's fake convertation of ruble currency.
yeah.
That was a great достижение. That was a great achievement
Achievements. Yeah,
of reforms during 90s, and all of it going in the bucket thanks to
yeah.
Vladimir
Uh,
Putin.
yes, of course. That you said about Vladimir Putin, and I want to show this for people, this wonderful flag which I have, because it is. I love this flag. Yes, I'm not like like I don't think it's I'm politician guy, but
Mhm.
some things it's
Deeply
impossible not to.
introduced to
It's
policy.
impossible like do not talk about when people dying and you
Mhm.
against this war, and it's possible like oh my god, I will not talk about this because Yeah, it will. Yes, especially when you have opportunity. I'm lucky. I'm living in the USA right now, and I have this opportunity to talk without fear about. Of course, I must be logical and to have logic, like, and don't say
Mhm.
like to have facts. And my like opinion must be based on facts. And war, it is terrible, terrible. What is Putin doing right now? It is terrible, like decision. And yes,
let let
yeah.
let me contribute. Let me
Hmm.
make a special poll about it. I think it's very interesting and intriguing. What do our subscribers think about it? Do Russians need to wash the blood from their tricolor? What do we think?
Yeah, you mean about this last?
Yes,
Yeah,
I think about this flag.
yeah,
Do we must to wash the blood out from our flag?
yeah.
What do you think?
And while people writing, I will be happy to say, Sam, thank you for donation. Alex, you are right. Yakutia Snow Ice people and other small groups called minority are the first people in Russia to be mobilized. So, because I was living in Primorsky Krai, I've heard these stories. I was reading these articles when minorities was because forced to go to the war, and pretty often they like no was they against this. They're not understanding like if oh, if Putin saying like we are Slavs, all these the three
Mm-hmm,
countries, how to say, Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia, Slavs. But
mm-hmm.
what about minorities? So why they must die for this territory? Like a good question. Like if they're not Slavs and Putin don't talk about this, and like why they must go to die? Like and yes, you can find this.
Vladimir Putin
Yeah,
frequently tried to put down this question. We all
yeah.
Slavs and
Yes, but
don't
Russia is
she
diverse. He's forget about this. Russia is really diverse, and the people, many of them don't want to fight at all because, come on, why? Yeah,
even Slavs, even
even
ordinary
Slavs.
Russians were
Yeah,
even Slavs, ordinary Russians in Russia frequently diverse by their mentality. It's also depend on four different Russias as social economical diversity, but we in Russia about to diversity,
yeah.
even Siberians or Far East people, but that's something different of people who living in European part of Russia. In aspect of Siberians, that's very true, interesting phenomena of Siberians. They like to courage themselves like they're living harsh and severe
Mm-hmm.
conditions of life in a hard freeze where experience a hard very low minus temperatures and
Yeah,
where very have the courage of about it what we live in severe conditions and it's
yeah,
even have a it's also have opportunity in language, for example, in some far north regions of Russia, some far north corners of Russia, they
mm-hmm.
have some several specific words which more um, подходят, which
Uh,
more
I'm
uh, um, which more in using in these regions particularly.
yeah.
For example, do you know what is актировка?
I don't know. Actirovka is
You don't know.
activation.
It's
It's not
no
activation.
актировка. It's not. It's no. Maybe
In some way,
uh,
like
it's activation of deactivation. Актировка. It means when it's low temperature in far north regions, for example, in Khanty-Mansiysk or
yeah,
Norilsk, it's very low minus temperatures. For
yeah.
example, minus 50 degrees, and when stopped any exercises in school and this time named as Aktirovka in those regions. For
Ah,
example, if you're living in Kazan or Kirov or even Far East region where
yeah, yeah,
you don't experience minus 50, you don't think about it at all.
Yeah.
Um, but I think you know this meme about, and I wanna ask you first of all, as Far East people, do you know what is multifora?
I don't know. Example, I
You
don't
don't know.
know. Yeah.
You don't know what is multifora. Multifora, it's a special plastic wallet for documents, special
Mm-hmm.
plastic folder, uh, which
Yeah.
uh, which in use in Western Siberia and maybe Eastern Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I know my I was known this plastic wallet as
Mm-hmm.
multifora because I was born in Tomsk. When I was
Yeah.
coming in when I came to Kazan for next my step of life, I was, but it was intriguing story. I came to a shop or a special service center to maybe to make something, something for me, something stuff, and I asked for multifora. Can you give me multifora, please?
Yes.
And those people in Kazan tell me, what,
Yes.
multifora?
I will say
What?
same. Like, what are you talking about? Like a music.
what is that? It's a
Yeah. File. File.
file. Yes, special
Yes.
plastic
Just
wallet
folder.
for yes,
Folder.
special folder
Yeah.
for saving documents. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's very a lot of differences between something dialects in Russia.
Yeah.
Um, that's again interesting diversity about it.
Yeah, I want to. You asked before question, and I want to find this answer also, and to say thank you to Roy for his donations. He's a wonderful person. Thank you for your support.
Strong man
Yeah,
supports everyone.
yes. And let's find the questions and to say thank you to Bill for his donations. What irony by nominal construction? Russia as a federation should be less centralized than the USA as federal. Yes, a federal union which should be less centralized than the Ukraine as unitary state. Yes, we are talking, Bill talking about what Russia federal government, and it means Russian Federation. It sounds like this, and we should be not centralized. Do you feel where you was living what Russia is centralized, like everything from
Rush
Moscow? Yeah,
every deals, every negotiations in every Russian region is going for the Moscow. If you
yeah,
wanna build, if you wanna build a toilet for some solars in far corner of Buryatia Republic, you should to make a special call to the Moscow and ask for money to build a toilet for people for those soldiers who studying at the school in Kakhta of Buryatia, for example. Everything is doing for the Moscow. Even our transport system is doing for the Moscow. If you will take a view on the map of Russia, all Russian big highways going from Moscow. It's like a center where every highway is going to this, and it's
yeah,
uh, it's have a place also on the connectiveness between regions. For example, so mm I think you're as a far
hmm,
again you're was living in far north in far east region.
yes.
If
I
you're
was.
if you're living in Vladivostok, if you want to go to not in Irkutsk, maybe if
Hmm,
you want to go in Tomsk, you
yes,
should make a flight from Moscow. It's it's the cheapest way for you to make this flight. Just you make a flight like from Vladivostok to Moscow, and then you make a flight from Moscow to Tomsk. That's
yeah.
insane. That's
It's
insane. And
I completely agree with you, and it can be. It's also more expensive. Everything like not regions that don't have economy at all. Russian government's
mhm,
not giving to regions with freedom to build own economy.
mhm,
And there was,
yeah,
yes, I want to read these comments. There was people asking me to read comments of Roy. I'm trying to find his comments, Roy, because Roy was left comments. I'm trying to find this, and
Let's try to do it. If you
yes,
still
Mhm.
you're trying to find his comments,
Yeah.
I would try to make a more to tell more about connectivity
Yeah.
between regions. For example,
Mhm.
some regions in Russia, if you're going, for example, from Tatarstan in Chuvash Republic, particularly on the western part, it's on the west. Chuvashia located to west from Tatarstan. For
Yeah.
example, if you're going by regional highway, not a federal highway, but by the regional highway. So in Tatarstan Republic, this road can be have a hard covering asphalt.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it's
they
it's
can have
named
asphalt.
same name in
It's the
English,
same
asphalt.
name for in
Yeah.
English. Yes.
Yeah.
So, for example, in Tatarstan, this road has a highway, but when the road beginning in Chuvashia,
Hmm.
there is no more asphalt. There is no more asphalt at all.
you
And
like you like
where can be?
I was living all my life in far east of Russia. I know far east of Russia doesn't have good roads. From my own experience, I was living until 16 years old in Russian
Mhm,
village, and in far east of Russia, in far,
mhm,
and there we didn't have at all roads. For during decades, they never was building like creating new roads, and they because maybe they were giving money to officials, but
mhm.
all this money was taken by these officials because of corruption. Because, come on, welcome to Russia. And I can't find his message.
And now, okay,
Yeah,
you're still finding.
yeah.
I have another intriguing and curious story about this, particularly about the roads, because I want to tell you this interesting story about Severobaikals, for example,
Hmm.
and if this story fully describes what all our economy and all our policy as Soviet economy and Russian economy were target not were target mm, uh, were not consider the purpose to make the life or the life of regular people better. They continue. They consider to make to make um, to make our motherland better. Don't
Uh,
matter. Don't matter people. Don't matter human life. The
yeah.
main thing is motherland. The main thing is the state. You should die for the motherland. You should die for the country. And let's fully describe what our uh, we have no human center model of our country. We have motherland model of our
Yeah.
country. So this is what example I want to talk about. When it was the Baikal Amur main line construction in Soviet
Hmm.
time, when it
Yeah.
was all unity building, all unity construction of
Yeah.
this main line, and this main line still working, and it uses as a as a way for transporting our coal from Kuzbas region to China
Hmm.
for just for pennies for pennies.
For
We are
nothing.
as
Just for
for
nothing.
just for
Yeah.
nothing. Yes, just for nothing. It's even don't pay off the construction of Baikal
Yeah.
Amur main line. Even we are as penny налогоплательщики,
Mm.
penny payers of our
Yeah.
government. We are um, we are compensate uh, uh, расходы,
Um, oh my goodness.
expense,
Ex-
expenses. We're
expenses.
compensate expenses of Russian railway company on transporting of coal in
Yeah.
China. We are
Yeah.
as a penny payers, just only for
Just because
Russian
of
railway
politics. That's,
company
yeah, just because of politics.
because of
Because,
because
yeah.
of policy. And that's not that's not this point what I would to
Yeah.
lead for. It's a point about Severobaikalsk city because I worry about those people who live
Mm-hmm.
there. I have some friends there. So, for example, they have Baikal-Amur main line
Mm-hmm.
as a big transport highway, but
Yeah.
in Severobaikalsk there is no asphalt road even. So they have really really severe high overpass or uh, Davan it's named Davan
Mm-hmm.
overpass in um, Байкальский хребет,
Mountains, like just
Байкальский mountains. Not, I want to name it like properly in
yeah, yes.
geographic terms. Let's I find out. It's one moment. Um, Ridge or spine, Baikalsky ridge or spine were located with Davan overpass, and
Mm-hmm.
there is only just sandy roads, no asphalt even, and those people who live in Severbaikalsk,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because of they don't have any normal roads for delivering some goods or some clothes. For example, if you know a Russian company Wildberries, they started to
Yeah.
work in Severobaikalsk for 2 years ago, and they said because if you don't have good roads for delivering of our stuff for our goods, we stopped to work there. So, and Russian railway company as the monopolist on delivering of goods and stuff for those people who live in
Mm-hmm.
particularly in these regions, they earn money on them. They
Yeah.
make price. They make overprice for delivering of their goods and any properties for people who live there.
Yeah.
They just earn money on them. Imagine it. Russian
Yes.
railway company earn money on people who live in Severobaikalsk, Tinder, or maybe something now in Taksimur, in those cities which located in the north of Buryatia. And those same peoples, they pay off expenses of Russian railway company on transporting of coals from Kuzbas to China. That's
Yeah.
how Russian mafia in our government works. That's why I think Russia as a state, Russia as a country, we are also occupied by Putin's
Yeah.
mafia.
And yes, you said Putin's mafia, and I completely agree with you. The mafia, and I found this from Roy message. Thank you, Bill, for this. YouTube won't let me send money because $500 donations. He made yesterday this donation, $500. Can you imagine? Whole salary by Russian standards. I have to wait
Yes,
24 hours, Artyom. I will put money in your buy me a coffee. I can't do a super chat until 7 p.m. It will be wonderful if you will help Artyom because he is great person and he's very smart as you can see. Yes, and thank you of course for this. I will be happy if Artyom um, will have the support too. It will be very very cool. Yes, and
thank you who
hmm,
will make this support too, because it's really make a sense for me to film new vlogs and new videos
and
from but to me exactly, and for maybe for the free state of Russia in our future, in our bright future. Thank
yeah,
you supporting us. You're supporting bright future of Russia, and maybe we will make
yeah.
our country more welcoming for everyone.
And yes, thank you, of course, for these donations to Roy. And there was another one. Damn, I can't. Roy, I found your message. I can't make a super chat because I went 500 limits yesterday. I have to wait 24 hours. Yes, until, yes, you repeated your message. Thank you, of course, because sometimes it's difficult to find message, especially when you have like it's
very
cool. It's
very
very
much
cool.
very
Yeah.
very much interesting questions. Maybe we will try to find out more because we are talking very much. Let's we try to i I asked you to make a poll. Do we need to wash out our blood
Yeah,
from the flag?
yeah.
Maybe we
He
will
was
make it.
asking.
Can you make this poll? What people think about it?
Yes, we will. Let's try to find their comments, and I'm sure what changing flag, it is like rebranding country. Of course,
Yes,
changing
yes.
flag, it means also changing country by itself. When governments will accept, there will be different people, and those who disagree with this policy, which is happening right now,
Hmm.
and those who will be openly, how would say, accept what this war and talk about this war, what it was mistake, and it means what country will have opportunity to start new life also, in my opinion. Like it is, yeah, yes,
I think we should make a little bit позже, not early,
later,
later.
yeah, later.
A little bit. Yes, we should make a little bit later when we start to make real changes in our country, and
Yes.
and if we'll not start to make the serious changes in our social life, it help us to расширить, to ensure,
To uh,
ensure, ensure,
widespread spread.
yes, to spread our thinking, our
Yeah,
ideas about the
that's
development of Russia in the
yeah.
future.
That's why it's important to talk about future Russia like democracy. And I want to say thank you, Sam Calvert, for donation. And you said congrats,
Congrats,
congrats. Yeah, can you read this?
congratulations,
Yeah.
8,000 of subscribers on your channel.
Yoo-hoo! Thanks.
Congratulations, you Alex.
Yeah, thank you a lot, because it is not only my achievement, it's also achievements of all of our community. You can be eagle on our channel. We have eagles here. You can be bronze eagle, silver eagle, and of course golden eagle. Yes, it is. Yeah, because I'm in America. It's logical.
We're
Yes,
the
thank you.
Eagles.
Yeah, we are eagles. Eagles are community. Eagle community. Yes, and thank you, of course, for everyone for this. And yes, what is your favorite kind of vodka?
What you
Vodka. I was
vodka?
I was trying to drink online eggplant. Like, it was like kind of it's not vodka. It's yes, and it was I
Munch
wasn't.
Самогон?
No, it's not this.
Moonshine самогон.
Anyway, it was like I'm not good at drinking, and yes. Anyway, thank
Me
you,
too, me
everyone.
too.
Yes, you don't like to drink alcohol, yeah?
I don't like drink alcohol. I like drink Baikal herbs with Baikal tea with team. Tea with team.
Yes, I love.
Try to drink team.
At, at this moment, I'm drinking Texas water, and
Texas water.
yeah, Texas spring water, not just but spring water, and it's delicious too. And thank you to our moderators, to everyone, because without moderators, moderators helping a lot, really a lot.
Hmm.
You're supporting a lot, and thank you to Joy, to Lisa Marshall. Lisa Marshall, I wish you. To your family, all of the best, and of course, I know what is happening right now, and yes, be strong. Lisa, you're wonderful. Thank you for your support. And thank you to Amir, Joy, all moderators in our community are wonderful. Yes. And yes, um, can you
Amir
see?
is
Yeah.
Amir is really Amir is a really popular name for Tatars too.
Ah, wow.
Are you Amir from Turkey or maybe some
From the
where are you from?
USA.
He's
From the
from
USA.
USA.
You.
Maybe he has roots from Turkey or maybe even
Ah,
from Kazakhstan or
who knows? Who
Tatarstan.
knows? We were
Who knows it?
making together. I met Amir in person. We were eating pizza together in Houston. Can you imagine? My moderator is close to me, and I'm like, oh, it's
Wow,
nice.
that's
Yeah.
how our world is a tiny room.
It's tiny when you have opportunity,
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah, and people asking. There was question. I want to find this question. Yes, Alex, remember to fill Amazon wish list. Of course. Thank you for this. Thank you. Do you see any questions there? Oh, Mike B said, Alex, please give my compliments to Artyom. Yes, his videos are shot beautifully, editing, sound, subject matter, all top notch. Yes, Mike said what your videos are wonderful, gorgeous. If I'm, and I completely agree with you. I was saying this to you first time when we were talking.
Yeah.
What you I like in your videos, it is quality. Quality. I want in future to make also like a better quality because yeah, you my inspiration, Artem.
Thank you very much for your feedback because it's give me enough another strength to make it more. But this quality requires very a lot of time to produce. It's really I was making one of my last video for one
Hmm.
hours. One when I was making a relaxing video about the flying over Russia, I was making it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of editing of this video only by my own. That's why I couldn't make um more content on my channel because I couldn't to um how to name it, even in Russian language we name it like this, to delegate this
Ah,
to delegate producing of my videos to any editor.
yeah.
If you can help me, if you support me by uh, financially, I can delegate it to other people. Which
Yeah, I
I
can.
even have some editors here who can I help to earn some money too for another some refugees, even for Belarus, even and from Russia too. Supporting us, you make some additional workplaces for Russian refugees too.
Yes, and people asking how, Artyom, would you consider life in the USA if it were possible? Good question, because I think it is a very interesting question.
You asked me too about
Yes, I
this
was asking.
subject.
Yeah.
Uh, I would consider to be as an American only as an experience of living there for maybe 1 year, one or maybe a little bit more for 2 years. Just I would like to live in America only for experience of life, where and to acknowledge of my knowledge of English. But I would like, but finally I would like to move back to Russia because
Hmm.
I don't comprehend my life without Russia at all because I fall in love in Russia. I don't think my life without it at all because I would like to make Russia better and to presentate Russia like a nice country to visit for another people to develop our tourist attraction industry in Russia to make it more attractive place to visit
Yeah.
for another people and first of all to make and it helps for local people even in Russian countryside better
Hmm.
and I
Yeah,
think.
and yes,
Mhm,
I think what I'm understanding, of course, everyone has own different experience in
mhm,
life. I love Russia too, but in my situation, yes, government. I think I don't like too much. Maybe too much. I don't like Russian government. In your situation, I believe what's it seems for me you don't like Russian government to it. It's different. Like Russia
Hmm.
and the Russian government, it is a different
It's absolutely
situation.
different.
Absolutely
It's
different.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely different because we should. I think Western people, Americans and Europeans, uh, they have more knowledge about how to differ state of country, but
Yeah.
Russians still learn about this question because our government equals Rodina.
Yeah.
Our people think about it.
Motherland. Rodin
Yes,
is like motherland. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I I know this word in
Yeah.
English. I I was thought what I talked it in English.
Yes. Anyway,
Anyway.
it's happening with me pretty often, to be honest, because sometimes I'm like, yeah, and I do this same. And there was another question for Bill said, but what if Putin is succeeded by his bad or worse leadership? I don't think that he will succeed.
uh,
His
he
time is
all
limit.
his you should recognize what all his officials, all his officials, um, they are governed by the principle of loyalty to the our head of our state.
Yeah,
First of all, loyalty to him, not about your professional qualities, not about your skills
like how
in your profession,
talented you are.
not about your
Yeah,
talents. First of all, about your loyalty, and that's similar works even for regional heads or regional governors. All of
yeah.
them, uh, they are uh, pro назначить,
Mm,
назначить to
назначить. To give
I
power.
I learned no. I learned this words especially for this stream, but I forgot about that.
I see you was
A
preparing
point, a
very
point.
well.
I remembered it by myself. A point is all Russian governors and heads were just like appointees of Vladimir Putin. Were not elected by local people who live in these regions.
Mhm.
Were appointees of Vladimir Putin. Or so actually, if you know Russian policy more exactly, if you dive it
Yeah,
more, in 2004 year when it was the terrorist act in Beslan, and some Russian media talk about what was
yeah,
made by FSB, in particular by Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is ex-sitters, выходец.
from
He was
yes,
he's from FSB too, and
yeah,
I think Vladimir Putin couldn't know about plans of FSB about the
yeah,
terrorist act in Beslan, for example, and it helps Putin to strengthen his power as a it make a special запрос, special require of population of Russia for a
yeah,
strong for the strong hand which bring the order to the country, and
yeah,
right at this moment in 2004 year, Vladimir Putin restricted elections of governors of Russian regions, and
mm-hmm.
only after and that was working till 2012 year, since when was the serious protest against Putin
Mm-hmm.
in Moscow on Bolotnaya Street, when was a participated Boris Nemtsov, Alexei
Yeah,
Navalny participated in those protests. Only in this, right at this moment, he returned elections for governors and heads for regions.
yeah. And yes,
And
I completely agree with you here. Yeah.
it's about centralizing system of Russia as a state and as a country,
Mm-hmm.
because even 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 if you wanna even major of maybe some city in deepest province of Russia should be одобрять одобрять.
Give permission
Yes,
or accept.
yes,
Uh,
should be permitted by Moscow, by Vladimir Putin frequently
yeah.
too.
I see. Yeah, I see message from Bill. Guys, I hate to be so negative, but Putin has involved so many bureaucrats and military. One moment. And military in war crimes that one
Mhm,
thousands of powerful people fear the hack. They won't step down without revolution. I'm sure, of course, Bill, you're correct, because when government to hear without deep changes, like radical changes, will not
mhm,
Russia will not change country at all. Yes, it like in before Russia had a revolution in previous century. It is true. If it will continue forward this suppression of people, I'm sure
mhm,
there will be a revolution. I have no doubt about this, and there will be not only revolution. It's possible that Russia will be divided. It's high possibility of this. I'm talking this about this because I was living all my life in far east of Russia.
mhm.
In Khabarovsk, we had these protests about Sergei Forgal. Natasha from Yarasha, she was there on these protests. I was there on these protests too. Of course, we didn't know each other, but anyway, I'm just saying what people from Primorsky region, was driving to these protests just to
To
show this,
participate there,
yeah, to show this solidarity.
to express their support
Yeah,
to.
because people don't have this opportunity to express yourself so often in the far east of Russia.
But see,
Yeah,
yeah, I think the similar situation could be even in Primorsky Krai, because when it was the election of
yeah,
Oleg Kozhemako,
yes,
Putin's mafia head in Primorsky Krai, how we should name in Russian language, смотрящий,
yeah,
in prison slang,
yes.
смотрящий,
He's
смотрящий. Смотрящий literally translates from Russian person who will
watch what you're
who
doing.
will
Yeah,
watch, consider and see for this region
yeah.
in Russian prison slang, смотрящий for this region.
And
but it was a
here, yeah, the
but it
most
was a true.
interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry.
You
You
can,
can say.
I think you can tell about this situation more correct, because I think you was living there right at this moment when it was election. What was the name another
I don't
person who
remember.
was in this election?
Uh, I don't remember. He was, if I'm correct, from LDPR, maybe party. Kaparov, yes,
I
Kaparov.
think.
Yes, and the most interesting there, they changed the results of election online, and they
Hmm.
like
Yes,
there
yes,
was
yes.
mathematically impossible to win already
Hmm.
for party from uh, from United Russia, and they changed these elections. It was uh, 2018, if I'm correct. I can be wrong.
20. Yes, maybe
18.
it was right exactly when it was a protest in Khabarovsk.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Khabarovsk was a few years after. Uh,
Hmm.
it because and the most because in Khabarovsk protest was 2021 and 22 May 20.
Not 20,
It was a
not
year
2020. It was
2020.
before the COVID, exactly.
Yeah, before the
Before the
COVID.
COVID.
Yes, and because
Maybe it was when Champions Cup in Russia, maybe right at this moment, I think.
mhm. One
Maybe
moment
a
I
little
want.
bit after. Maybe it's autumn or 2019 or 2019 or 2018, I
Mhm.
think. Something like this. Anyway, doesn't
It
matter
was
when it
couple
was.
years ago, and it was 2020, 2021. There was protests in Khabarovsk because I was there. It
Yes,
was a year ago. I was on these protests.
actually, when
It's,
it was.
yeah,
How insane time is going, really. I thought
yes,
it was. I think that it was 4 years ago.
No, it wasn't
How
5 years
many
ago
actions?
because so many things happened and they like, oh my
Yes,
goodness. I can
insane.
Yes, it was 2020 and 2021. This protest. I was on this protest on August 2021. Um, on August 2020, I was there because there was on July. Protest began on July
Hmm.
11, 2020.
Hmm.
And on August, I already there was in Khabarovsk. I was living in Lysozavodsk and I was driving,
To
yes,
Khabarovsk.
to Khabarovsk 11 hours for this. Um,
Yes,
yes, it was, yeah.
and people, and after that, people in USA and Europe say what Russians not protest.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you
Those who
sure in this? People 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 going for 11 hours to
just
participate in
driving
protests
on
in
bus.
Russia.
I don't have my
Yeah.
own car. I was on bus like 11 hours. That was funny. But anyway, of course, when you feel what it's not right, 11 hours it's nothing. You must be there at least one night. So there were students from different regions of Siberia and far east of Russia. They were trying to participate to show this solidarity
Hmm.
because Khabarovsk it is a city where people were united. They were feeling
Hmm.
abandoned. I was feeling what I'm abandoned by own government, and you will not find this support.
Because of Moscow is
Yeah,
so far
they thousands
somewhere
kilometers
where
away, thousands. And for
thousands.
people
Yeah.
like me to go to fly to Moscow, people don't have money to see
Hmm.
own capital of country, own capital of your country. Like where you will find the money for tickets if you have salary $100 per month. Where you
Yeah.
will take
Exactly.
money. People don't have a choice. They have these yards, огород, how would say, and they growing potatoes, tomatoes.
Dacha.
Yeah, they have these daches and they're living in these daches in villages. And not all of them have apartments. They just don't have choice. And that's
Hmm.
why, of course, it is really, really sad. Okay, let's read our comments. What is
Yeah.
happening there?
What's
Yes.
happening there?
Yeah.
I let's read some comments, and I would like to talk about some Russian republics have more opportunity to make their own policy on their republics than
Mm-hmm.
any other republics, for example. And I would like to make a dialogue about that,
Mm-hmm.
because maybe some Russian regions more equal than other Russian regions. As how it says literally in Russian regions, in Russian language. Um, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
maybe some Russian regions can more they're more affordable to make something than other regions. That's insane.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's not about federalism in Russia. Um, it's more about un, unsigned rules about which played between Moscow and some regional centers.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
this,
but previously,
mm,
let me read some comments.
yeah, yes. Yeah. Here was a message and donation from Bill. Red is so tied to the 1918 revolution. China is all red. A new flag without the color of blood would be like a spiritual pledge.
What
Yes,
is the pledge? Pledge.
pledge.
Do you
It
know?
is.
Do you know what is pledge?
I have suggestion. It's like let's translate pledge. It
Pledge.
is. It is обет,
It's a
обещание.
be a be
It's like
permission,
spirit.
promising,
Yes, yeah,
promising.
promising like this. And I, of course, revolution have this association in my mind, and USSR in my mind. It's more like red color. It's because they have
Yeah.
this flag or red flag, and if yes, it is like. Yeah,
bloody color.
yes, completely agree. Also, we have message. Um, I can't wait for your unboxing tomorrow. Yes, Lori, when I will receive this iPad and this stuff, of course, I will do unboxing this online and I will show you because, come on, not every day you're receiving such like presents. And thank you, of course, I will do this unboxing online. Thank you for this. And do you see maybe, Artem, there are questions for us? Mm.
I don't see any questions because we now
You can
I learn about
push. You can
how
push.
yes I
Yes.
how to push
Yeah. I don't have to use phone.
you have you have a second monitor to push somewhere. You I think you have a note. I have a laptop to dive,
Yes.
but I have a laptop only for translation sometimes. um,
Yes.
Amir made a donation. Russian people need to be informed as to what could be, rather than what has always been. Yes, Amir, I also agree
Mhm.
with you. We should see it with future, not think about our history. No, no, we should consider our history, but see the prospects in the future. That's how I would
Mhm.
say. Do you agree with me?
I agree
We
with you.
should
What
consider
people
history, but
people don't know sometimes what a lie can be better. What you can not suffer but live. What you can smile, don't have depression. People don't know how to escape this circle of problems because
yes,
Russian
yeah.
government is not helping people. Russian government is abusing people, bullying
Hmm.
own people, and if you go on protests, you will be kicked, beaten by own governments. And you
Hmm.
can find some Russian stand-uppers, comics, young people who I was yes watching this one guy. I don't remember yes his name, but he
Ivan guy.
said. No, he's not the one guy. It's not him. He's not. He's not stand up. But anyway, thank you for reminding about him.
Anyway,
Yes,
forgotten person.
yeah, and
Forgotten person.
and he said this guy was. I didn't notice. I don't know why when it happens, and he didn't notice why I should afraid my own government. A own government. It's like old classmates, and he is bullying you like what is it like? It's
Anyway, I think you have a similar fear when, as me, when you going alongside with some policemen in Russian,
yeah.
you feel some fear. Uh, did I make something wrong?
Wrong. Yes, it's like what is it like? You look at the
You are
stuff.
just going uh, closer to me. Did I make something wrong?
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
Yes, it's like, and you
So
completely correct with this. Um.
and uh, you about bullying. That's exactly intriguing story from cousin. Do you know in the let us say it first of all in Russian.
Mhm.
Сесть на бутылку.
Yes. Uh, to sit on
To
the
to
battle, like
to sit on the battle. That's um, mad story. I'm what позор. That's I'm shy
shame,
about this.
shame. It
That's
is.
a shame about this story. This story produced the meme for the whole Russia, and it's happened in Kazan. That's happened in Kazan
Mhm.
in the point Дальние. It's named in Kazan.
Yeah.
I saw this point where policemen works. Uh,
Yeah.
That's a shame. Could you imagine this is in Europe or USA?
Um,
Sit on the bottom, not not what we mean. Just to sit where, push it. You know what I mean.
yeah, you can find, of course, in Russian prisons, in Russia, police they're practicing torture and human
Mm-hmm.
rights. Where people not don't have rights there at all. And if we are talking about human rights, also all minorities in Russia doesn't have this protection from governments. If people from
Not only minority, even
LGBT,
Russian have,
even Russian,
even
of course,
Russians have
like
already
ordinary Russians don't
protection.
have their
Yes.
protection. But if we will talk about LGBTQ community, about their
Mm-hmm.
rights, they don't have protection at all because Russia is not
Even.
noticing them. Like they no doesn't
Mm-hmm.
exist. There hundred thousands, maybe example, 100 millions of Russians, like
Mm-hmm.
100. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
1% of them you can find. Only 1%. It is 1 million who is gays, lesbians, bi,
Maybe
and that's the
LGBT
yes
community. Yep.
LGBTQ community. If we will talk like 2 millions or maybe 1 million, like it's few millions of people, even by minimal standards. And of course, all
Mm-hmm.
of them afraid to express yourself, to they're afraid to be yourself there because if you will coming out, you will say about your sexual orientation,
Your orientation, yeah.
you will go to prison for this. It's nonsense.
Right,
It's like
right now,
yeah,
after new law, yeah.
yeah. They
That's
have
that's
new
that's a shame and madness again. What I can say about Vladimir Putin only about the madness and shame. Anyway,
yes,
nothing,
yes,
nothing courage, and nothing good stuff.
and
What I could say,
I
we
think
have some,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can read
we we
them.
have we have some interesting questions.
Hmm.
I remember a question about the what is our favorite meal,
Oh,
Russian meal. I think this question for both of us.
yeah.
Eh, you would wanna ask answer it first, because I still thought about that.
Yes, I
Rush
usually like Russian dumplings. They like with
dumplings.
it's like pelmeni, the
Mm-hmm.
dumplings, and
I
with
know it.
smetana. Smetana, it is smetana. I don't know.
Sour
Sour
cream.
cream. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're right. I was always forgetting this. Yes,
That's
yeah,
normal.
yeah, and yes, it's like what I like. Yeah.
I would say, if we talk about Russian as a country meal, I
Hmm.
would say my favorite meal, gubadya. Gubadya. It's my favorite Tatar pie with some. I don't know exactly all ingredients of this pie, but I know there is a rice, some boiled eggs, um, boiled grape, uh, uh, a little bit, not in Turkish language. It's named as kurt. It's something
Yeah.
similar like a cottage. It's similar like a cottage cheese,
Yeah.
and but not a cottage cheese exactly, but a kurt kurt in Tatar language,
Kurt?
and maybe
Kurt?
kurt kurt
Kurt,
kurt
Kurt,
kurt.
Kurt.
No,
Yeah.
kurt,
Okay.
not kurt,
Kurt, Kurt. Okay.
not a cart
Yes.
as a cart as a
Kurt,
soup in
yes.
Russian.
Yeah.
Kurt kurt kurt. Even you shouldn't pronounce u or o. Kurt kurt.
Yeah.
Without this sound of u or o. Kurt kurt.
Yes. And
But if we talk
mhm.
about Russian cuisine, exactly about Russians in particular, I would say borscht. Borscht. borscht
It's
and
some people
here
saying
and
it's more Ukrainian, but you can
it's
find
more
different
Ukrainian, but
uh,
some difficult.
different. You can
let's
find
let's
different
let's
so
let's rename it.
borscht.
Let's rename it. Maybe if maybe on this topic we can make an ability for make a friendship between our nations in the future. Let's rename borscht as Russian Ukrainian dish.
And
Let's rename it
yes,
like
like
this.
this, yeah, because it is. I love borscht too. I don't know why I didn't say this before. I don't know. And also,
that's some oh what no, no let you tell borscht, uh, but I would say my favorite meal too, it's cottage cheese, because here in Georgia there is no cottage cheese in shops, and I think in European markets and American markets, nothing cottage cheese, not so
I don't
popular
know. I
cottage
don't
cheese.
know
Did
what.
you
I
check
never
that?
try. I never try
Never
cottage
tried,
cheese. So what is
but
it?
okay, tворог,
Ah, tворог. Oh, yes,
tворог.
of course. I know. Yes, cottage cheese. Yes, I love this.
Did you notice that in American markets? Because here in Georgia,
I saw. It seems for
you
me,
saw that, but I think
but
it's
it's
not so popular in
expensive.
culture. It's expensive, but
For
in
me,
Russia,
everything here is expensive. Like
no,
I was going today to Subway. Eagles from our community knows that before our live stream, I showed this Subway sandwich, and I was eating there. Even Subway sandwich for me, it's like I'm trying to accept this reality. What you must pay like $8 for one sandwich, big sandwich example, or $7, six, and then what?
it's maybe even cheaper for you to eat in Subway rather than go to a market and prepare to cook something for you. Yes,
It's saving time. It's saving
it's
time,
saving
and
time for you.
when you, example, thinking about topics about
Hmm.
English, about YouTube, you like it's easier. Just so I'm like today was going and where is my headset? Listening music like this, and after this, I was like, okay, I was going to yes. Yes,
But
it's
what
easier just to relax, listen,
mhm,
and saving your time completely. Yes.
I would say cottage cheese. I couldn't. That's a feature what I couldn't move from Russia in our country, because there is no cottage cheese frequently in the market, because cottage cheese in Russia, it's like everyday meal for don't matter at all. Do you Are you Russian? Are you Tatar? Are
Yeah.
you Mari
Yeah.
people? Are you Udmurt? Are you Yakut? Anyway, are you even maybe even Caucasus? You eat cottage cheese as
Yeah.
everyday meal frequently.
Yeah, people say what we have cottage cheese in USA. The USA very diverse. By you can find here
Hmm.
everything, food from all around the world. At least what I see here, like and so many diversity restaurants. I have so many recommendations which I in future hope will visit step by step. And of course, I'm not surprised. The USA here you can find completely everything,
Because
everything
there are,
like
bec-
yes,
I think Russians, Ukrainians brought cottage cheese to USA on the market when it was
yeah,
migrated there. There are, I think, maybe around 1 or 2 millions of Russians living in USA.
even 7
Maybe
millions
one
I was reading.
seven millions.
Yes,
Wow,
7 millions. And right
that's
now with those who
insane.
it's but the USA it is melting pot here, diversity you
Yes,
can find
melting
everywhere.
pot of
Yes.
different
Yeah, and it's so, and
nationalities.
people live and understanding here what democracy it is. It is democracy. People love democracy, and I already love democracy
And it's
through
really
my own
attract people
experience.
from the whole world.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Even
what we we have another message.
best,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
you know this narrative from even from conservative people from Russia, from the typical
Mm-hmm.
babushkas, or maybe even those people, from that persons of Russia, they they blame Russia for this topic. What they соблазняют,
Um,
соблазняет in Russian. What they no, I translate this word.
yes, I hope. Yes.
What America seduce Russians to immigrate into America due to their democracy and their better life. That persons blame America even for that.
I mean, desire and a lot of people wants to live to the USA, to live here, and to move to the USA. I mean, because I don't like dictatorship. I'm against Russian policy because benefits from this territory, biggest country in the
Mhm.
world, have only few families in
Nothing,
Russia, only oligarchs.
nothing. Only
We ordinary people, we have nothing. Russian government has this policy: beat your own people, and others will be
to
afraid. Exploit,
exploitate you
yeah,
as a cog in this
and
mechanism of building
yeah,
the future communism in the whole
yeah.
world.
But as a result, of course, their children have benefits. I don't like Russian oligarchs at all. I'm sure it's your situation same. And of course, people want to have this freedom. Do not afraid to go outside and to be mobilized and sent thousands kilometers away from your home, from far east of Russia, and fight and die for land which you never wanted to have,
Yes,
and to kill people for nothing. It's like mad. It's really madness. They lost their minds, and there I see message from a lot of messages, to be honest.
a lot of messages.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I remember some questions. I saw some questions to me even here.
Hmm. You can find, of course.
Let me find it. Both of us find.
Yes, I
Um,
want to say, Bill, thank you for donation. In USA, immigrant communities, we distinguish Russian borscht as based on beef bone broth, and Ukrainians in pork ribs with potatoes and salted pork. Yes, you can find different recipes, if I'm correct, of this. Um,
Uh,
yes.
I
Mhm.
I tried a few days ago. I tried borscht in Ukrainian cafe in Batumi, and that was surprising for me. What we adding beans in borscht?
Wow.
Did you
No,
try
I never
sometime
was eating this.
borscht with beans?
Maybe I
That's
once.
tasteful. That's really tasteful.
Maybe
I
I
should
saw,
say.
maybe I eat, but I don't remember. Maybe it was years ago. And yes, I want to make some conclusions of everything and ask maybe some of the final questions for you. Example, do
I
you believe?
we
Yeah,
we
yeah,
still
yeah.
we still didn't talk about Russian regions, because some
Ah,
Russian regions have an ability. We promised
mm-hmm. Ah, yeah, yeah.
to people to talk
Mm-hmm,
about this topic too.
mm-hmm.
So, for example, um, as far as you know, maybe Tatarstan was one of the center of separatism in 90s, and
Yeah.
we had really strong power at this time in Tatarstan. What was the head of what was the president of Tatarstan for those time, Mintimir Shaibiyev. He has he's also some kind of dictator. He also has some kind of mafia which linked with his family in
Mm-hmm.
Tatarstan, but honestly, he made really good things for Tatars. What he made the life or regular Tatars better in
Mm.
Tatarstan. That's why a lot of Tatars give him nice, good feedback about his work,
Yeah, they
and
respect
they
him, at
sometimes
least for some job.
they
Yeah.
respect him for this work, but still
Mm.
he has some dictators. Uh, dictators stuffs and dictators
Yeah.
things. I think about that. And even Tatarstan had a special federative agreement between Moscow and Kazan because of in 90s Russian federal powers
Mm-hmm.
didn't have uh, so strength to make regions to play on their rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. To play by Moscow rules, and this federative agreement uh, ex- expired in 2017 and didn't been prolongated since
Mm-hmm.
there, but still there. Tatarstan has had more for these years. What was this agreement in
Mm-hmm.
action? Tatarstan grew a serious economical success in development of economy of uh, countryside to
Yeah.
agriculture, oil production, oil mining, and etc. That make Tatarstan one of the pearl of uh, Russia for life
Yes.
there
Yeah.
let's make Tatarstan a little bit more uh, how to say Tatarstan had more preference in Russian preferences
Benefits. Benefits.
benefits. Tatarstan
Yeah.
had more benefits uh, in comparison with maybe, for example, with neighboring Mariel Republic, where there was
Yeah.
no strength, really strength and power in 90s to to make life of Mari people better too. Just maybe because of Mari people as Mariel population is 6 times lower than Tatarstan, and it's working mathematically because of less people, less talents, and
Yeah.
less
Yeah. It's
persons
so.
who
Yeah.
can make
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And
I
also
completely
as
agree with you. Yeah. Yeah.
also about Chechnya, because
Yeah.
what can make Ramzan Kadyrov in Russia didn't affordable to any another regional head, because it's a special agreement between Putin and Kadyrov. What Kadyrov, it's a appointee of Putin's too. Um, if we'll he make
He's corrupted. He's
yeah,
corrupted and his
he is also
family
corrupted.
corrupted.
Yes,
All.
his family
Yeah.
corrupted. All Chechens didn't respect Kadyrov at all because he's a real dictator inside inside his republic.
Yeah.
Anyway, if even frequently Russian central police organ police
Mm,
ministries, Russian inner ministries
Mm-hmm.
couldn't make any specific actions inside Chechnya without any agreement
Kadyrov and his
with
family.
Kadyrov, yes, and his family, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And they have. I've heard so many times they were torturing people. You can find there what's there if minorities can be killed, if they
Mm-hmm.
lesbians, gays. And I've heard, I was reading these articles, and it was like, oh my goodness. It's impossible, yes, of course, to live there if you thinking about democracy and sharing opinion like with more Western opinion you have. It's
Mm-hmm.
impossible to live there completely. That's why people prefer to move from these regions at all. Yeah, completely agree with you. This diversity giving me thoughts what one day it will explode because one day it will be if government is not supporting
Mm-hmm.
people, nor ordinary people. As a result, it can be one day to divide country because we have this party. It's named United Party in Russia. And but on the opposite of this, I see how people hate this party.
Nazi
It's
party, Russian
yeah,
Nazi party, United Russia.
yeah, and you say this correctly because people, ordinary people, already don't feel this uniteness. How would say
Unity,
they don't
unity, unity.
unity, and they don't feel this, and they hate already this party at all because they don't feel this support, only oppression from them, and
It's
yeah, I
you
don't
know
see
you
this unity in Russia at all. I see like this diversity because the government, instead of creating jobs, parks, they are starting war. It is like
it's
nonsense. Yeah,
Russia
sorry.
Russia leave Russia leave Russia lives right now on the rules of George Orwell or 1984.
Yeah,
Unity, it's divortion. What is the
yeah.
opposite to unity?
Unity, divorce.
Div,
Divorce. It's like divorce.
no, uh, divention,
Divide,
di, di,
dividing.
dividing. You
Yeah,
know what I mean.
yeah,
Peace is a war. War
yeah,
is a peace. Water is a fire. Fire this is a water.
yeah.
George Orwell, it's clear.
Yes, he's clear, and Russia is already. Um, it is, yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Alex channel. Thank you. Of course, you're welcome to channel. Of course, Artyom. You can find his channel in the name Idol Russia. Yes, and Idel
Idel.
Russia. Thank you for correcting me. And yes, of course, I will be happy to say to say final words, and I will be happy if you will say some final words because we already more than 1 and 30 minutes now. It's so and
I
yes, I didn't notice time, to be honest, because it was so
That was
so yeah,
very intriguing and interesting dialogue with
yeah.
you, Alex. Really, really, really. I would,
Thank you.
I would say thank you to every people who participated in this chat. I'm so sorry what we didn't answer a lot of questions because it was very a lot of about these questions because
Yeah.
I hope this stream was very interesting and informative to you to hear us,
Yes.
and I wouldn't say any my thoughts about dividing of Russia in the future. Will Russia falls apart? Because I have a special video about this topic. You can
Yeah.
you can check my video, one of the last my video on my channel. I have a very short video for 16 minutes only, where
Mm-hmm.
I properly talk about the vulnerability of falling apart of Russia for
Yeah.
some any another regions or maybe some free republics. I talk very some thoughts about that.
Yeah.
Dive in my channel to
Yes, and it will
find
be
out about that.
wonderful, of course. So if you will subscribe to Idel Russia, to Artyom's channel, because he's doing really cool videos. You can
Thank
support
you,
him,
Alex.
buy me a coffee to him, and give likes to his video, and it will be wonderful. Of course, if you will give like to this live stream, to subscribe to my channel, and collaboration is always good. Thank you, of
collaboration
course. Yeah.
collaboration is always nice. We
Yes.
we you notice
Yeah.
what was interesting dialogue about it, what we still what we still didn't, what we forgot about to ask people for push the like on this stream
Yes.
even.
We should also, of course, to say you can leave likes, and I also want to show again this flag because people are usually moving from Russia not because of good quality of life, not because in Russia uh, you can find democracy. People moving from Russia because of dictatorship, because of oppression,
Dictatorship,
because of a lack of human rights, and because
yes.
people don't see their future. That's all. And Russian government destroying Russian future. It is destroying Russian society. People prefer to leave motherland. People
Instead of
prefer.
protesting against of
It's,
powers,
yes, because
because
they
it's
feel
dangerous.
hopeless, and
Yes,
as a
they're really
result
hopeless.
they feel what it's right now I feel in what Russia has high chance to divide, like to fall apart. The longer this war will continue, the higher
Yes,
chance Russia will
when
fall
higher
apart.
chance of Russia falling
Yeah,
apart
yeah,
due to not exactly due to this war as a fact, maybe
yeah,
because of economical issues after this war,
everything.
what Russia
Sanctions, war,
face
everything.
after that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And yes, on this note, I want to say thank you. Yes,
Thank you, Alex,
likes.
too.
Thank you to your Tom, and thank you for being with us today. You're a great person. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much too. I I wish you fortune, good fortune, and I wanna make a gratitude to you for being on your
Oh, thank
channel
you.
as a guest. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. And yes, everyone, bye bye. Yes.
Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.